Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to bone out a deer hind quarter. This has been hanging for a while, and this is real easy. Just about anybody can do this at home. I mean, really, if you can cut up a chicken or something like that, you can do this. That's how easy it is. First thing you want to do is kind of get off all this hard fat. It's no good. Venison fat does not taste good. It is not beef fat. It is not pork fat. You don't want it in your food. So first thing we do is kind of clean this up a little bit. And you want a good sharp knife. I like to use little 4-inch fillet knives a lot. And just cut that old fat, hard fat off. You love little meat on, no problem. See? Now, all we're going to do is just take these muscles apart. Get this hard fat off. Some of it peel off. Being in the make a little pile for your scraps. Make you a pile for what you're going to use for burger, sausage, if you're going to do that. There's some mighty fine pieces that make good roast here. Well, I'll show you that. Whole series of how to process your own deer. I can't believe some of the prices some of these places get to process a deer. Other day there was somebody on one of the forums on Facebook said he paid $145, and everybody thought that was a pretty good deal. And I'm like, good grief! I hope that thing weighs 800 pounds. It's really crazy. So now we got most of our hard fat off. You can see where these two muscles are connected right here. Here, if you look close, you can see as well, this grain goes this way and this muscle goes this way. And all we're going to do is just separate these. Just separate where these muscles come together at. This one kind of goes down into the joint here. Now, from this leg joint down is the hock. The only thing I ever do with that is burger. A buddy of mine years ago when we were teenagers, man, everything was steak. So a steak, I want everything steaks. Kept telling them, everybody told me, you can't eat that hot. Nope, cut that in a little bit of steaks. I'll eat it. Well, let's just say next deer, oh, we'll grind that. So, no, it's ground meat at best. See, this is coming off here. This is going to be, I think this is a sirloin right here. My light's not the best in this kitchen. But you're going to pull that old silver skin, all that off right there. Again, this is where a good sharp knife, fillet knife comes in handy. Just take your time. You're no hurry. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but it's already coming apart right here. We're going down to the leg bone. And you cut across this one right here. Now, if you're going to grind most of your meat, you just need to cut it off bone. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to roast, and maybe steaks later on, see, I generally freeze. Oh, man, that's cold. Get your hands cold real quick. I generally freeze these roast whole, and that way later on, if I want to roast, I got to roast. If I want steaks, I'll just take them and cut them in steaks. It saves on my process time too. Man, that is cold. Need some hot hands or something here. But that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be nice and cool. And all this, we got a layer Yeah, see, a lot of this will come off just by pulling. But that's all we're going to do. We're just going to take these muscles apart. And that's how you debone it. Now, you can debone this whole thing once and have a big old hunk of meat. Now, this roast here, that one I just took off, if you want to cut it in steaks, here's how your grain, if you look, your grain's running this way. You would cut across grain, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, whatever you want your steaks to be, and thickness. Right here, let me cut some of this fat off here. I'm going to show you a perfect example of silver skin. Okay, that's a scrap right here, right through there. I don't know if you can see that. That's silver skin. Here's how I do it, just like filleting a fish. I'll get my flap started there. It's kind of hard. Good paper towels is good to have on hand. It helps you grab this stuff. I'm leaving just a little bit. I'll come back and get it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Fillet knife just under the skin, just like you're filleting a fish. And if you get a little bit of extra meat on there, that's okay. It's better to have a little extra meat on there than a little extra silver skin, because it's stuff that you cannot eat it. It does not taste good. It makes everything tough. Now I got this, got that little strip right there to do. See that? A lot of times, like I said, it'll just pull off. I don't mess with it. Get it all off. Dogs eat it. Dogs eat, little dog eat it. He loves this stuff. Okay. That little piece off right there. It's better if you take the time now and get this all off than to freeze it and then try it later. I don't like doing it that way. That's a little piece for him. Okay, this piece, you can see it was getting a little dried, but that's okay. It'll still eat good. Okay, there's your one roast right there. Get that little bit of fat off right there. Like I said, just go ahead and take your time. I hear a lot of people, oh, it ain't worth getting that off, and it's so much trouble. If it's worth time taking kill a deer, it's worth time doing it right. Okay, now, our muscle's running this way. We got this muscle running this way. Let's go ahead and get this muscle out. I'm going to come down here where it connects to the hock, cut it off. I actually enjoy processing my own deer. I know that this is my deer. I shot this deer. I know everything pretty much about this deer from the moment I shot it onward. I know how I cleaned it, how I gutted it. You know, I know nobody threw it over the hood of the car and drove around for days with it, showing everybody and their brother while it was hot, and then decide to take it to the processor. You know, fortunately that stuff happens all the time at a processor. Especially the more busier ones, many times, and a lot of them don't like to admit this, but many times they have so many deer to process, they do it all at the same time, and you may have checked in, say, a field dressed, say 100-pound doe, which is a big doe for around here. Well, you'll get roughly a third of that and boned out meat. So they know you're going to get around 30, 35 pounds of meat. Everybody goes in everything. Oh, so-and-so had a 100-pound doe, she'll get 30, 35 pounds of meat. Though, oh, he wanted chops in this, okay, we'll do that. You don't know if it was your deer or if it was, Joe Blow's deer. And then people go, ah, man, I got my deer back, and it was nasty. I don't like deer meat. Well, it may not have been your deer. It may not have been had anything to do with your deer. Then again, if you're kind that do drive around all day, for several days, showing everybody your deer in the back of the truck or over your hood, maybe it probably was your deer. A lot of quality of your meat goes in from the second you put either that deer in your sights. Where you shoot them, how you shoot them,